Today we will be discussing restraining your animals. What is restraint? Restraint, as defined by the City of Corpus Christi ordinance, is any animal that is securely caged, animals secured by a leash or lead attached to a collar or harness and under the effective control of a responsible person and obedient to that person's commands. Animals confined within their owner's home or yard, which must be fully enclosed by a secure and substantial fence, or the animal must be properly tethered on the property. In short, this means keeping your animals in such a way that they cannot escape their own property and run free. So if your yard is fenced in, but the gate is open, or there are sections that have openings, your animal is not considered to be restrained, as it could exit the yard if it chooses to do so. This law applies even when the owner is present, such as doing yard work outside while the animal is roaming the yard with an open gate. Alternatively, if you do not have an adequate fencing situation, an animal may be kept on a tether for a short period of time, or a trolley for longer periods of time, as long as the animal has food, water, and shelter. Whenever an animal is being walked outside of its own property, it must be on a leash at all times, regardless of how well the animal is trained or how friendly it may be. When it comes to owned felines, they may roam free of restraint as long as the feline is spayed or neutered and current on rabies vaccination and city license. If the cat does not meet these requirements, it will not be allowed to roam and must be restrained inside of the home to which it belongs. Why do we restrain our animals? For several reasons, such as the safety of our public and the animal itself. For example, if an animal is allowed to roam, it may become aggressive with humans or other animals. Animals may get into fights with other animals over territory, breeding purposes, or even resources such as food or water. Animals may also bite people, causing injuries or worse. When a dog or cat bites or scratches a human, it poses a risk of spreading rabies through contact with infected saliva, which will require the animal to be quarantined for 10 days after the bite at the expense and responsibility of the owner. We also restrain our animals to prevent any harm to the animal itself. Dogs and cats lack the same comprehension skills as humans and do not understand that running in the street may lead to an untimely death. Unfortunately, we at ccacs see far too many unnecessary deaths and injuries of animals that were allowed to roam free of restraint and end up being struck by a vehicle. While animals roam away from home, they also come into contact with harmful substances, parasites, and diseases that it may have never encountered if kept on its own property. This is why we still require all animals to remain in restraint despite of how friendly the animal may be towards other animals and humans. Just because your animal is friendly does not mean other animals will act in similar fashion, nor does it ensure humans will feel safe around a loose animal. So what happens to animals that are free of restraint? Aside from the situation mentioned before, leaving an animal free of restraint will lead to citations being issued to its owner. Citations can be issued every 24 hours that the animal is left unrestrained. Prices of a citation can range from $50 to $2,000 for each violation written. The animal can and may be picked up by ccacs and impounded. If the animal is impounded, the owner will be required to pay a fee to get the animal back, or the animal may be adopted out to another home if no owner comes to claim them. Animal owners should be advised that ignorance of the law is not an excuse. As an animal owner, you're responsible for knowing all local, state, and federal laws concerning animal ownership.
So, if you wish to keep your animal at home, happy and healthy, as well as money in your wallet, keep your animal restrained at all times. This has been a PSA from ccacs.